In the previous guitar lesson that we posted to our YouTube channel, we were working on some classic country strumming patterns. And I also mentioned that I was going to teach you a country guitar solo that you could play along with the old classic song, Your Cheatin' Heart by Hank Williams. Last video, we didn't quite get to the guitar solo, so in this video that you're watching now, we're going to start working on this country guitar solo. Let's go ahead and take a quick listen to a sample of it. You can get a good feel for it. After you listen to this sample right here, we'll start breaking this down with the guitar tablature. Here's the first line of the tablature for the guitar solo. And the very first measure that you see here on the screen is a pickup measure. And that pickup measure is going to lead us into measure 2, which is where the main progression is going to start. So the main guitar solo chord progression that we've been talking about, that starts in measure 2. So that pickup measure will just lead us into it. And at the end of this video, we'll talk about exactly where in the song you need to start playing the pickup measure so you'll start the guitar solo at the right time so you can practice along with Your Cheatin' Heart. But at this point, let's go ahead and learn the guitar solo, and then we'll talk about the timing of when to start playing it at the end. So anyways, here is the first line. Let me play it so you can hear it, and then I'll break a couple things down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so that first measure is the pickup measure, and we're starting it out with our left pointer finger there with those first 2 down picks. Pick, pick, and then the left middle open. Pick, 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 and then there in measure 2 you hear that we're just doing boom chick strumming over an F major chord shape. Pick, strum, pick, strum. So that's pretty simple there, measures 1 and 2. One quick tip for measure 2, boom chick strumming over the F chord. For the first boom chick or pick strum, I've actually only got my pointer and middle fingers held down. Pick, strum. And then for the second pick strum in measure 2, I actually put my left ring finger down there to catch that bass line pick. So halfway through the measure, I actually form the full F major chord with the ring finger down. I find it easier to do it that way. So left ring finger. So anyways, let's move on here to measure 3. Sounds like this. Measure 3 is still over the F major chord, but I find that at the beginning of measure 3, I'll lift up my left ring finger and I've only got my pointer and middle fingers held. So measure 3, pick, 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 pick. And that hammer-on that you hear there, right there, a quick hammer-on. So to set yourself up for the hammer-on, you got to bar your pointer on the first fret across first and second strings. And that hammer-on that you hear, it's just a quick hammer-on to your ring finger there, second string, 3rd fret. So up to this point, we have pause the video if you want to work on that more, but here's measures 4 and 5. In measures 4 and 5, that's over the C major chord. So right before it, in measure 3, we had that kind of 2-finger F chord held, remember? So when you get to measure 4, you leave your pointer where it is basically, but lift up everything. And so in measure 4, you've just got the top end of the C chord held with your pointer finger. That's the only finger I'm holding anything down with at the beginning of measure 4, left pointer, on the 2nd string, 1st fret. So measure 4. Pretty easy in measure 4. It's pick, strum, pick, hammer, strum, strum. For the pick, hammer, strum, strum, you're just hammering on to your left middle finger. So hammering on to the rest of the C chord. And then measure 5, you put the full C chord down to pick up that first note in measure 5. Left ring finger. It's a root note of C chord. So measure 4. Measure 5. At the end of measure 5, you hear we did that little pickup melody that we played at the beginning. Remember? So let's put this all together here. Let me play this line one more time and take a really good listen, and then we'll move on to the next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And if you're ready, let's move on to measures 6 through 9. Sounds like this. So that kind of sounds like a lot, but it's actually really simple if we break it into little chunks. So let's learn measure 6 and most of measure 7 right now. And this is going to be over the D7 chord. So you can see in measure 6, all we're doing is boom, chick, strumming over a D7. Boom, chick, boom, chick. But here's measure 7. Let's learn up to that point. And notice that those are all down picks right there in measure 7. We're straying away from strict alternate picking in measure 7. So the picking stroke, the pick stroke direction gets a little bit strange, but I think this is the easiest way to do it. It's all down picks, measure 7. Pick, pick, hammer, pick, 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 hammer, pick, 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 hammer, pick, pick, hammer, pick. So measure 6 and 7. Pause video if you want to work on the timing right there. But then, right at the end of measure 7, you see we've got one more note, and it's actually the beginning of a little slide that will slide into measure 8. Just like that. So. And this is pretty simple right there. Sliding up with the left middle, and then those two notes you're going to be barring with your left pointer finger on the 3rd fret. So slide with the middle, bar with the pointer. And then that part's real easy. It's a few double stops, and a double stop, all that is when you play 2 notes at the same time. So first double stop there in measure 8, about halfway through. Got on the 5th fret, and we got our picking the 3rd string, and that's the left middle finger. And then I'm using my right middle finger, if you can see that, on the 1st string. So right middle, and you're just going to kind of pinch both of those notes together. And that 1st string, if you can't tell, that note, left hand, I'm using my left ring finger. So left hand is just middle and ring. And you just pinch with the right hand. Pinch, pinch, pinch. The same shape, just 1 fret at a time, going up. So up to this point on this line, we've got pause video if you want to work on that at all. But then let's finish this up. At the end of measure 9, we've got this fun little riff that descends the neck a little bit. So let's check out the left hand fingers first. Pinky, pointer finger, pinky, open. So pinky, pointer, pinky, open. Pinky, pointer, pinky, open. It's the first 4 notes of that run. And that note on the 2nd string, 4th fret, I use my left middle finger. So let's put this all together. It'll make a lot more sense if we play the entire line. Take a good listen, and then we'll move on to the next line. Alright, let's go into measures 10 through 13.